Welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna make beef fajitas. Have you ever tried fajitas? Well, this is something that you can make at home, enjoy with your friends and family. And for this recipe, we're gonna use flat meat. Okay, you can always find it in supermarkets. You bring it home, you take it out of your package, but you don't want to rinse it, you don't want to wash it, just cut it. Now, there's some skin, like silver skin, you can remove it if you want. That's what I did. And then you start cutting the meat this way, like in fajita style. That's why it is called fajita. Okay, so you're gonna cut it not too thick, not too thin, but just like a medium size. That's what we're gonna do. Now, this is flat meat is good for like carne asada because it's soft, tender. It's kind of expensive, but it's worth it. Okay. So once you cut your meat, we're gonna add some ingredients in here. I'm gonna add some sea salt, a little bit of it, and some Worcestershire sauce, Liam Perrin sauce, maybe like 3 or 4 tablespoons. I'm just calculating here. If you use flat meat, your fajitas are gonna be amazing. The meat is soft and tender. And then I like to add all season. This package right here has some like anato powder with cilantro flavor. And you start mixing everything in here, and you can add some oil in there because we're gonna fry it. Now you can cook this on la plancha too if you want. Just let it marinate it, for maybe half an hour. That's what we want. Now for vegetables, we're gonna use one big onion. It could be a yellow or white onion, and just start cutting it this way, in julienne style. That's what we want. One big onion. I like to use yellow, green, red, orange bell pepper. I'm just gonna demonstrate here how to remove the seeds, and you wanna cut it in lines. Everything has to be cut this way, okay? You wanna use a lot of bell pepper. Now you can throw some jalapenos if you want something spicy, but I don't want anything spicy. Now I like to use a different color because it gives a nice, when you see the fajitas with a lot of color, it looks beautiful. Okay, so we already finished cutting all the vegetables. We have the onions, all the bell pepper, and my wife is cooking some rice in here. You can use your rice cooker if you want, but we just cook some rice with vegetables, we add water, and then we just wait. You can eat your fajita with steamed rice, or maybe you can use some like flour tortilla. In a pan, you're gonna throw some oil, wait for the oil to be very hot, and we're gonna start cooking the meat first. I don't like to mix everything together. I don't like to cook everything together. I just like to start frying the meat in not a lot of oil, just a little bit. And I want the meat to release some juice that we're gonna use later on. And just keep cooking everything. Take your time here, okay? Maybe I'm using around like 2 or 3 pounds of beef. You can always use more or less. But the way I like to cook it is, separate. You want to take your time. How long do you have to cook the meat? Well, since it is flat meat, you don't want to cook it for too long, otherwise it's going to get hard, tough, and we don't want that. But I'm going to show you a trick right here. When I'm cooking meat, chicken, or pork, for some reason the meat releases water or juices, and I like to get it out of the pan and use it later because there are a lot of flavor in there. You see all the water or juice in the pan. I'm going to show you right here. I like to use a strainer or colander. Now we're going to reserve that juice. I like to put a bowl and then the strainer and throw everything in there. You see there's a lot of water on the bottom of juice. We're gonna use it later, okay? Put back the meat in the pan because we wanna keep cooking it. I like to give it a color almost as if you are making carne asada. You wanna seal your meat. You wanna get like a brown color. But for that reason, you can always use a little bit of barbecue sauce, or you can always use dark soy sauce with mushroom flavor. And that's what I did. I added some mushroom sauce, dark soy sauce, just a little bit, so it will give the aspect as if the meat is brown. Because I don't want to cook it for too long. The meat is already cooked, it's soft and tender, okay? So that's a trick that you can always use. Once your meat is cooked, we're gonna set it aside because we're gonna cook our vegetables. Man, if you use flat meat, you're gonna enjoy this. One day, I bought some piece of meat that was not very tender and soft. It was awful. I didn't eat it because who wants to eat meat that is very hard like a rock? Nobody. Okay, so in the same pan, add some oil, and now we're gonna cook our vegetables. This is how I cook my fajitas. Some people like to cook the meat with the vegetable together. Everybody cooks in a different way. Now I want the vegetable to sweat. I want them to soften. I want them to be beautiful in the pan because they're gonna start reducing. You see, they're gonna get a lot of flavor from the meat later on. And I like to add a little bit of Liam Perrin sauce, maybe 2 tablespoons. I like to calculate. I don't like to measure anything here. And you can throw some garlic salt in here if you want. You cook this, you're gonna be happy. If you don't eat rice, you can always make some tacos. Okay, buy some flour or corn tortilla and make some tacos in there. Make some Mexican salsa. We have that video in my channel, how to make a good salsa. Look how beautiful the vegetables are. That's what I wanted, okay? Now, I'm gonna use a bigger pan, okay? Because this one is kind of small. I like to use this pan for frying the meat and the vegetables. So I use a bigger pan, I throw the vegetables in there, and I'm gonna join the meat with vegetables. And we are almost finished here. Okay, put all the meat in there. And there's no need to add oil or any other ingredient. You just want to mix everything here. You want to combine. You want the vegetables to get flavor from the meat. And this looks very tasty. Thank you for watching this video. This was very, very easy. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, what about the juice that we preserve? Well, you want to use it. You want to use maybe like 8 or 10 tablespoons of it. Because we want to add the flavor. We want to add back, a little bit of fat, if you want to call it that way. Because there's a lot of flavor in there. And just keep mixing everything. And ladies and gentlemen, we have here some amazing fajitas that you can cook at home for your wife, for your kids. But remember, you can use rib and steak too if you want. The secret is to use good meat, okay? Something is expensive. You can even use, beef tenderloin if you want. Look at this. Wow. Make sure you use a lot of bell pepper, with different colors. They have to be soft. And now, this is how I eat it. I put some rice on top of a plate that my wife cooked. And then I like to throw some fajitas on top of it. And you can add some Tabasco sauce if you want, or sriracha. And enjoy this with a cold beer. And thank you for watching. We have a lot of videos in our channel that you probably have never seen. And I would like you to watch them sometimes when you have time. You're going to find some amazing recipes on this channel in English. And as always, English is not my first language, but I try my best to, narrate this video in English. And I hope you guys understand some maybe like 50% of what I'm saying. Thank you. Stick around for more recipes, and we're gonna keep uploading more videos. We'll see you next time, okay?